My telephone says it's 11 o'clock, and we had a short meeting earlier this morning, so if everybody cooperate, we're going to have a short one today. I think the secretary told me he had a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm going to call the meeting to order and make some special announcements. Mike Patterson's here. Glad to have you today. Bobby Stem from HEC. Put that hat on, Bobby. I like that. And Brent Burwell, Concrete Paver Association. Thanks for being with us today. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our secretary, and it's your show.
Let me call row first. I'm going to call row first. Mr. Coburn.
Let's call the roll.
Coburn here.
Mr. Grimsley.
Grimsley here.
Mr. Shannon.
Here.
Mr. Frymiller.
Frymiller here.
Mr. McCowan.
McCown here.
Mr. Dyson. Mr. Alexander.
Alexander here.
Mr. LaForge. Mr. Peterson.
Here.
Floor is yours.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. Happy New Year. I have the honor this morning of recognizing some pretty special guys out in Division 6 that have received a very prestigious award for some of the work that they've done. They're in Boise City. So at this point, I'd like to invite Brent Burwell with the Concrete Paving Association up to give us a little bit of detail about what exactly this award is, and then we'll have an opportunity for a group photo and a picture. So, Brent?
Thank you, Secretary Gatz. Appreciate it. You bet. Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, Secretary. It's always fun to get up here and honor these guys for hard work. I think especially the field personnel, they don't get enough kudos. They really do the tough work. As you guys are well aware, during the pandemic, these guys were frontline workers, never missed a beat on all the projects, not just this one, but all of our transportation projects. They got out here and did the work that needed to be done. I'm very proud of them, very proud to give them this award. Every year, the American Concrete Pavement Association meets in December and doles out awards across several categories for the best in the country. And this year, the Town Square project in Boise City was nominated as the best project in that category. And so I would like to invite those guys to come up here and receive their award and maybe get a photo. So.
Mr. Chairman, if you wouldn't mind, and Bobby, you guys want to come down and join us for a picture?
Which way we want to put this? Right over here.
And again, Mr. Chairman, if I might, recognize the D6 guys. They did a tremendous job on this very challenging project. Highway 287 carries a tremendous amount of traffic, and managing the construction contract, getting a good finished product, and as Brent pointed out, during some pretty challenging times. And to end up with the result that they did and to receive a national award for that type of a project is credit to their diligence, credit to their work ethic, and we really appreciate the job that they do for us. So thank you.
Item number 1 on the agenda today is the approval of the minutes of the November meeting. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Coburn.
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley.
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon.
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller.
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. McCowen.
McCown, yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Passed by majority, over unanimous. The consent docket contains 2 items. These items were discussed earlier in the committee meetings. If any commission would like to pull anything from the agenda, would you do so at this time? Otherwise, do I hear a motion for approval of the consent docket?
So moved, Grimsley.
Have a second?
Second, Coburn.
Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Coburn.
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley.
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon.
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller.
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. McCowen.
McCown, yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Had a unanimous vote to pass. At this time, item number 3 is engineering contracts. And Mr. Tigler, you're up for recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Mr. Secretary. Happy New Year, everyone. Item 3, I have engineering contracts. I have 6 this month. I will say that each one of these new contracts are all statewide and they're all districts. Part A is our on-demand mobile LiDAR mapping. Department has selected 2 firms to provide this service, and they are CEC Corporation and Half Associates. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 2 contracts is $500,000. Part B is our on-demand subsurface utility engineering contract. We have selected 6 firms to provide this service. They are Bearing Tree Land Surveying, EST, Guy Engineering Services, Half Associates, KMCE, and Universal Surveying and Mapping. Aggregate not to exceed amount for these 6 contracts are $4.5 million or $750,000 each. Part C is our on-demand ancillary structure safety inspection contract. Department has selected 2 firms to provide these inspections, and they are Burgess and Nyepel and Consor Engineers. The aggregate not to exceed amount for these 2 contracts is $2 million. Part D is our on-demand underwater bridge inspections. The department has selected Consor Engineers to provide this service. The aggregate not to exceed amount for this contract is $400,000. Part E is our on-demand wetland and stream mitigation contract. Department has selected 5 firms to provide this service. They are Friesen Nichols, HDR Engineering, Kleinfelder, Olson, and Switchgrass Consulting. Aggregate not to exceed amount for these 5 contracts is $1 million. And finally, Part F, this is our on-demand project reconnaissance data collection. The department has selected 10 firms to provide this service. They are BKL, Garver, Half Associates, Native Strategies, Park Hill Smith and Cooper, Poe and Associates, Professional Engineering Consultants, the Schemmer Associates, Walter P. Moore and Associates, and White Hawk Engineering and Design. Aggregate not to exceed amount for these 10 contracts is $2.5 million or $250,000 each. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any question that you gentlemen have this morning.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval of items 3?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn.
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley.
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon.
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller.
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. McCowen.
McCown, yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Passed by unanimous vote. Mr. Tigler, you may continue with item number 4.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have only 1 contract supplement this month. It is in Cleveland County in District 3. The department has previously authorized C.H. Guernsey and Company to prepare construction plans for State Highway 9. Supplement not to exceed amount is $62,760. This project is in the 8-year construction work plan with a scheduled let date in 2028. Approval is recommended. Try to answer any questions this morning if you have any.
You've heard the presentation. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Motion, Alexander.
Do I hear a second?
Second, Peterson.
Any discussion? Excuse me.
Mr. Coburn,
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Thank you.
At this time, it passed by unanimous vote. Item number 5 is change order with cumulative total values of $75,000 or less. Mr. Leonard, it's yours to.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'd like to present item number 5. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders of $75,000 or less. This item is presented for information only, and no action is necessary, but I'd be glad to answer any questions.
The change orders were discussed earlier in committee meetings. If there are no questions, Mr. Leonard, you can move on to the change orders greater than $75,000.
Yes, sir, thank you. I'd like to present item number 6, parts A through K. These are change orders on projects which have a cumulative total of change orders greater than $75,000. Your approval is recommended, and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
You've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved, Grimsley.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn,
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Passed by unanimous vote. Item number 7 is proposed bid openings. Mr. Hackley, you're recognized to present.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Item 7, proposed bid openings, consists of the final March 2022, the tentative April 2022, and the tentative May 2022 bid openings. The department recommends approval.
Do I hear, you've heard the presentation. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussions? Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Coburn,
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley,
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon,
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller,
Frymiller, yes.
Mr. McCowen,
McCown, yes.
Mr. Alexander,
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
Passed by unanimous vote. Item number 8 is the director's report. Secretary Gatz, you're recognized to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. You know, I think when you look at the award that Division 6 received, that is a true example of state government partnering with our private sector contractors. That contractor was Interstate Highway Construction to really deliver an exceptional finished product. And again, I want to thank them again for their efforts, and certainly it takes that partnership to yield a good final result like that. Also, over the New Year's weekend, certainly want to recognize the fact that Mother Nature reminded us a little bit that it is wintertime. And we had crews out starting New Year's Eve, and they worked through most of the day on New Year's Day and then into yesterday, part of Sunday, really making sure that the traveling public was as safe as they could be out on the roads. This was one of those storms that you know, there wasn't a significant amount of accumulation in most areas of the state, but it's still no less difficult to manage. We did have some icing conditions, and the guys did just another exceptional job out there taking care of business, and certainly want to thank the guys on the front lines that over a holiday weekend, again, took time away from their families and took care of the folks out on the highway system. So appreciate their work very much. On the state budget front, you know, we're getting ready for and have had a couple of budget hearings, got a couple more to go in the coming month. But one of the things that we're talking about that is favorable is a little bit better than expected budgetary outlook. And that's good news. Board of Equalization met last week and delivered some pretty good news. So that bodes well for the state. I think that's a reflection of how we've managed our business through the course of some pretty tough times, and that's yielding results. So again, good news on the state front. On the federal front, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act is in effect now. We are, however, operating under a continuing resolution in the absence of a budget through mid-February. That's not really bad news because at least we've got a continuing resolution, but it causes us to be a little bit mindful. Again, when we're operating under a continuing resolution, we only have access to the portion of our annual budget that's available under the time period of that continuing resolution. So that can be a little bit challenging, especially going into our preparation for the construction season. Typically our January, February, March lettings are some of the biggest that we do across the course of the year. I don't foresee any changes as of today, but we'll continue to monitor that situation and be mindful if we've got to make some adjustments, and certainly let the commission know. On the transportation modernization front, you guys are receiving now a report every month. That was sent out to you about a week ago. We continue to make good progress with transportation modernization across the cabinet. One of the things that I want to recognize this morning is we are standing up a cabinet-wide customer service operation, and I want to make a little bit of an introduction. Marcus Williams. Marcus is going to lead that customer service unit. When you look at customer service, the Turnpike Authority has had a really good customer service presence through their Pike Pass Center for many, many, many years. And the Department of Transportation, certainly the Aeronautics Commission, has not necessarily at all times had a good customer service facing representation. Marcus is going to help us with that. We are going to begin to look for opportunities for the public to interact at a much higher level with a kind of a one-stop shop mindset where they can call in everything from a problem out on the highway system to just a customer service need in general. So again, Marcus is the perfect leader to partner with the Office of Innovation and stand up that customer service unit, and really looking forward to offering the public a new opportunity to communicate with us. More to come as that detail gets put into place and as we really stand that operation up. But again, welcome, Marcus. Glad to have you on the cabinet-wide team, and look forward to all you're going to accomplish in that capacity, in that role. Something else that's significant is you've heard me talk many times over the previous months about the department needing to do a market study. One of the most important things that we can do always, but especially in times where we're facing some significant workforce challenges, is make sure that we're investing in our people. The department hasn't done any type of a market since 2018. We do work really hard, and Commissioner Shannon, in a conversation earlier, talked about our culture here in the Department of Transportation, and for that matter, the Transportation Cabinet. And that's something we really work hard on. We want everybody to feel like they're part of the transportation family, that we're all pulling in the same direction. But we have a tendency to get a little bit behind on the compensation front. This market study and the implementation of it will allow us to close some of the big gaps that have occurred since 2018. We can't get all the way flush with market, but we are working hard to try to get everybody to 95%. That's based on the state's market study that they perform. And again, we draw from other resources. The American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials does a market study. We certainly pay attention to the region. But again, I can't emphasize how important the timing of this is, effective January 1, to really make sure that the folks that are working for us now understand how much we value them, how much we appreciate them for the efforts that they put forth, just as evidenced over the weekend, the design efforts that are evidenced in receiving a National Pavement Award in Boise City. that quality is something we want to maintain in the department, and certainly making sure that our compensation levels are somewhat competitive is important to us. So we are able to implement that, and really that's a credit to our people and appreciation for the job that they're doing. At this point, I'd pause to see if the commission might have any questions of me, and then subsequent to that, we'll have a little bit of a video that's kind of our year in review video that'll hit some of the high points. So, Mr. Chairman, if any commissioners might have any questions of me?
I would just like to say thank everybody who worked on the project in Northwest Oklahoma, and I'm really happy to hear how happy and how easy you get along with the people in Northwestern Oklahoma are, because I got to hear some of it firsthand a while ago. So, but thank you all very much, and we're very proud of this award.
Yeah. Anytime, Commissioner, you're working in a downtown area, especially around the courthouse square, that condition is challenging for the community, and certainly Ron and his crew did an excellent job of public relations, and did everything that they could to make sure that the folks in Boise City understood what we were trying to accomplish and what was going on pretty much daily.
Yeah.
So good job to them, and again, that outcome is well recognized.
Thank you to all of you guys who worked on that.
Anyone else?
Okay, we got a video we can queue up and roll.
2021 began with a historic polar vortex winter storm, sending maintenance crews in blizzard-like conditions to spread salt and sand on roads. ODOT and OTA crews worked around the clock, more than 103,000 hours to keep highways and turnpikes safe. A brighter note came later in the year with national bridge rankings. Just 1 year after becoming a top 10 state for highway bridge conditions, Oklahoma advanced from number 9 in the nation to number 7 among the states with the lowest percentages of structurally deficient bridges on their highway system. The remaining 67 structurally deficient bridges were included in ODOT's 8-year construction work plan. Thanks to continued support for transportation infrastructure investment from the governor and the legislature, ODOT's Transportation Commission approved the highest value construction work plan in history based on state and federal funding projections of $7.4 billion. ODOT's key projects during the year include reconstruction of the Boise City Square, which improved the US 385 and US 64 junction, adding crosswalks, lighting, and parking. The project earned a gold award for pavement standards from the American Concrete Pavement Association. The agency shares the honor with Interstate Highway Construction Incorporated. Across the state, crews started work on the interchange of I-44 and US 75 in Tulsa. The project widens I-44 to 6 lanes between the Arkansas River and Union Avenue and replaces 5 bridges, improving the interchange as a whole. Also in northeast Oklahoma, crews began realigning and widening State Highway 20 between Owasso and Claremore in Rogers County. The project will relocate the highway over the top of Keatonville Hill, replacing a high-maintenance 2-lane section of road. Further west, ODOT kept a historic flair while rehabilitating State Highway 66 Business Bridge over Captain Creek near Wellston. This unique project combined elements of the original steel truss structure into the upgraded bridge to preserve the iconic look of the historic bridge, which is on Route 66 enthusiasts' sightseeing list. Motorists in southern Oklahoma now enjoy passing lanes along the existing 2 lanes of US 70 from east of Ardmore to near Medill. Crews added dedicated left turn bays at 3 key intersections to help alleviate growing traffic congestion. Crews continue upgrading the US 69-75 corridor near Durant. One of the largest federal grants ever awarded the department is helping fund improved accessibility on and off the highway, protect key interchanges, create one-way frontage roads, and add a much-needed rail crossing to 4 lanes of traffic. We're almost there. Reconstruction of the I-235 I-44 interchange nears completion, with 2 new flyover ramps opening to traffic. ODOT expects to open the full interchange in early 2022. ODOT and Yukon City leaders cut the ribbon on a new interstate interchange at I-40 and Frisco Road, creating greater access for goods and services in that growing area. A few miles west, another celebration. The fully reconstructed US 81 Rock Island Bridge in El Reno opened to great community fanfare in September, almost 75 years to the day of the original bridge opening. This project removed one of the few remaining structurally deficient bridges on the highway system in the Oklahoma City metro area. Other significant economic boosters worth celebrating include the 50th anniversary of the McClellan-Kerr Arkansas River Navigation System. In 1971, a barge hauling newsprint became the first official delivery into the Tulsa Port of Catoosa. Since then, MKARNS has grown into a marine highway, boosting by billions Oklahoma's economy. ODOT worked to boost tourism and help travel enthusiasts by installing new signage and opening new access to communities. Route 66 enthusiasts who plan to motor west now have an easier way to spot the historic Mother Road in Oklahoma, thanks to nearly 400 updated historical markers installed along highways and turnpikes. Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell, several Route 66 organizations, and ODOT worked together on the new design. Did you know Oklahoma has more drivable miles of Route 66 than any other state? Oklahoma is also a destination spot for anglers. More than 800 new signs dotting roadsides help visitors find Oklahoma's prime fishing holes along 6 fishing trail loops. ODOT worked with the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department to promote the state's unique fishing opportunities. While Oklahoma's transportation focus is always to enhance safety while creating access to economic development, ODOT began a transformation of its own along with its sister agencies. As a part of Governor Stitt's vision, Oklahoma's transportation agencies are exploring ways to modernize by sharing resources and blending services to increase efficiency.
That lets us focus on projects that links our cities and our towns and provide access to new areas for economic development. A strong infrastructure is the backbone of any strong economy.
The Transportation Cabinet contracted with consulting firm Guidehouse to help direct these efforts. This summer, Guidehouse, along with the Transportation Change Management leads, presented final recommendations to the Cabinet. Today, several of those recommendations are already in place, including divisions streamlining positions and processes, redesigning organizational charts across the Cabinet, and combining like resources across agencies. Oklahoma Transportation is charting a course on a road less traveled, but worth the journey toward an innovative model for transportation's future.
Mr. Chairman, looking back on 2021, we have a tendency to be so close to it sometimes we forget how busy we are. And I, again, can't thank the folks with the Department of Transportation enough for their incredible efforts. Thank our partners in the consulting engineering world and the contractor world that really help us make things as good as they can be out on the highway system. And just a great year. Really looking forward to a continuation and an outstanding 2022. So thank the Commission for your support and bright future ahead of us.
As Chairman of the Commission, I want to express our appreciation for the hard work that, for this nice video and all the hard work that's been done by the department. I came up here with one attitude about the department 3 years ago, and I have a totally different view of what you guys do. I'm really proud to be on this commission.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anybody else, any other comments? Thank you. We're there. Does anybody would like to make a motion for adjournment? We'll have a second.
Bobby seconded it.
Bobby second, didn't hear him. Okay, Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Coburn.
Coburn, yes.
Mr. Grimsley.
Grimsley, yes.
Mr. Shannon.
Yes.
Mr. Frymiller. Mr. McCowan.
McKellen, yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Alexander, yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Yes.
We're adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, I would like the minutes to reflect that when Commissioner LaForge is not here, the meeting is a lot more productive, and we get out a lot sooner. Just, I don't know that that's by happen circumstance. Very efficient.
We are adjourned.